Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Drawn Together podcast with Ash and Geekily. I don't know why, but it's like super crazy for me to believe that it's already time for episode 2. We already talked before about how we plan on this being a series where we talk about all things geeky, good, and nostalgic. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of focus on TMNT just because that's a brand that's near and dear to our hearts, and there's a lot of TMNT stuff going on this year. In fact, last week we had The Last Ronin Lost Years, we had MMPR TMNT 2 issue 2, and yes, we're well aware of all of that stuff coming out, and we will at some point cover it. We actually plan to do it in this episode, but we got this wake-up call, this grand awakening, that this week marks the 20-year anniversary of TMNT 2003, a show that's way too important to the both of us to just kind of gloss over and not cover in its own dedicated episode. So if you're waiting to hear us talk about more comics, continue the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT crossover talk, and the Lost Years, stay tuned. But this week, it's all about TMNT 2003. So sit back, relax, get your snacks, and I don't know, get out a piece of paper, turn on your drawing tablet, and make some art. This is the Drawn Together podcast. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles, count it off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Turtles.
Do you mutant chain reaction?
Turtles.
An underground.
Turtles.
Ninjutsu action.
Turtles.
It's a hell of a town.
Ooh, they didn't say that.
Wait, what's the line?
It's Shell.
Oh.
Come on, this is for kids.
Yeah,
for
right,
kids entertainment. They would never.
No, you're right. I just, in my head, they cuss in my head.
Dang.
I know it's terrible, but...
Well, welcome.
Yeah, hi, sorry, we're not going to get into this just right yet, but everyone, welcome to the second episode.
Yes.
With Geekily and Ash on the interwebs.
Your name comes first in the title, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I didn't know that. Anyway.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Hi. This is, episode 2 of this podcast. We have no idea what we're doing, but we'll figure it out.
Yes. I will have to apologize for 2 things. One, in the first episode, there was a mistake.
Yes, in the video version, there's a mistake.
I'm sorry. I thought it was so funny because literally no one noticed. It's like a pixel.
Yeah.
Literally, Geekly, he DMs me after we finish the episode. He's like, there's a mistake. I'm like, oh God. There's something horrible, like, oh, the audio didn't record. Apparently, there's a dot on the screen.
It's so noticeable.
It's not. I literally didn't even see it at all until he mentioned it, and I still don't see it.
It's kind of a big deal to me because I spent so much time putting the video version together, and I was like, dang. We're at the end, and for some reason it took 3 hours to render it, and by the time I watched the preview, it was too late. So I was like, man, I gotta upload it. But it should be eliminated now, so we're fine. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. Yeah. But
the other thing is, I got sick. That's the other reason I have to apologize, because I got sick. And unfortunately, I have a lingering cough. I am still sick a little bit, so you might hear some unpleasant sniffling, unfortunately, and or my voice sounds really funny, so sorry.
Everybody, please send your love for this absolute trooper right here.
Oh God,
for pushing through for your entertainment. You should feel terrible for making them go through this. What's wrong with you?
Make them feel guilty. That's not cool.
I'm joking. Any whoosies. The first episode was pretty fun. I think it went over really well. We talked about... What did we talk about?
Talked about comics.
Yes, we did.
Watch it. If you want to know what it was about, go watch the first episode.
Exactly. We don't have time to catch you up. Sorry. But this week is actually a special episode, and it's only episode 2, but we have a special occasion for this to be a special episode. This special occasion is, well, I think the opening kind of indicated what it was. It's the 20th anniversary of TMNT 2003. Not necessarily on the day of this coming out.
Yeah.
But it's this week. So we're like, if we're going to do the podcast this week and we talk about turtle stuff, why not acknowledge something big like this? And pretty much we're just going to sit here, reminisce, be thankful for everything this iteration had to bring to the table because it's been pretty influential for the both of us. So yeah, do you have anything to say in terms of the anniversary before we get started or anything?
Every year, the anniversary makes me feel just a little bit older because this show came out a year after I was born. And for at least a couple months in the year, we are for most of the year, actually, up until from between February and October, we are the same age every year.
Yep.
So, yeah, this show is very personal to me, and turned 20 this year, or last year, but we are 20 at the same time. That's pretty cool.
Dang. You had to flex on him real quick. Like, hey,
sorry,
not to brag or anything.
Being the same age as your favorite iteration of something is a pretty big flex, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can't enjoy that.
Sorry, LOL.
Hey, look, I mean, at the very least, I get to share a birth month with 2012.
That's extremely true.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, so
well, yeah.
But yeah, let's, as Doja Cat would say, get into it. Yeah,
let's do it.
What's up, my dudes? Let me ask you a question. Are you in the know?
You gotta be in the know to know. You know?
The know includes being up to date with the latest artwork and pop culture under the lens breakdowns.
Specifically from none other than Ash Casera Gonzalez.
For art, hot takes, creative content, and insightful gems, follow Ash on Instagram at @ashcg_art, TikTok at ash.art1, and their YouTube channel, Ash Casera Gonzalez.
Get used to them, because there's more podcasts where that came from. What are you still here for? Go check them out.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Where are we starting? Should we talk about the first episode? Should we talk about our favorite episode, favorite characters? What are we doing?
Well, I think because this is the anniversary, technically it is the anniversary of the premiere of the first episode, I think we should talk about what we feel about the first episode. Hee hee. So good. I think that'd be pretty fun.
All right, well, let's do it. This is Things Change,
so
right?
What do you think?
Things Change? That's the title of the episode.
I'm 80% sure.
Yeah, I'll fact check myself. But yeah, you asked what I think. I think this, look, you know, I go back and forth between 2003 and 2012 all the time. For the sake of not wanting to regret this in the future, I will say the first episode of 2003 is one of my favorite first episodes of all the Turtle series. It's probably the one I've seen the most. Maybe 2012 is like right up there with it. But just like
I know
the pilot,
for a fact that I've definitely seen 2012 more, but
yeah. See,
Go ahead.
No, I might have seen 20. I don't know. You know, there's no way for me to check that. But I can say, like the pilot for 2012, I can quote the first episode of 2003 like nothing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that this was a perfect pilot episode, especially for what the show is. I'd say definitely amongst all of the series, 2003 is the one that was the most dedicated to, as closely as possible, adapting the Mirage books, right? And nothing makes that more apparent.
That was like the whole.
Yeah, like this is the whole point. But nothing makes that more apparent than the opening to the first episode with the first few panels of the Mirage comic book. It's almost as if they used the book as a storyboard. So yeah, I don't know. I think just the intro alone was something that stuck with me forever. Like the opening narration with Leo. It's just iconic. What do you think? You think the opening was great? Am I gassing it up too much? Am I being extra?
No, I think it's epic. Listen, as someone who never actually read Mirage, I officially have a copy thanks to Geekily, but I've not read it yet. The one thing that I thought was okay, so I'll say this.
Yep.
I have probably seen 2003 more than 2012 because I rewatched 2003 more often, but I also can't quote it like I can probably quote bar for bar every single word in 2012.
Oh no,
not
same.
A singular fucking word in the first episode of the 03.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I can do both. I think 2012 gets the edge for me because I even remember it down to the vocal inflections. But 2003, at least like I know the script for the most part. I do mess up the inflection every now and then, but I can quote it.
The only part that I can actually quote is the beginning part where they're training in the sewer and they're like, Splinter's like, whatever. He's like telling them what they're doing wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
And except for Leo, because he's always perfect. Anyway, I will
Teacher's
say,
pet, ninja dropout.
you know what I thought was so iconic?
What's that?
Was that the intro, the like first couple seconds of like every O3 episode, with the little voiceovers from the characters. So, like the first episode with Leo, the whole like, my name is Leonardo, and right now my brothers and I, like, it's just, yeah. And I loved that. Like, the beginning of every single episode got me so hyped to hear what they had to say. And the first episode was no exception. Like, I remember watching it for the first time and being like, oh my god, they don't do it like this anymore.
No. That was like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's I beat.
Oh my god, yes.
He's wrong. We're not wearing costumes.
No. Yeah, no, but like, it's so good.
Since we're talking about that, I think that's like a good segue into the first point I want to talk about. We're going to be all over the place. Just bear with us. 03 Leo. What are we thinking?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, there's a lot. Ugh. There's a lot to be said about 03 Leo. I love him. For starters, he's edgy, like, a little bit too much.
I just don't get it. Michelangelo. Donatello. Raphael.
That's one of his quirks is that he says everyone's name. Like, there's maybe once or twice where he uses their nicknames.
Right.
But for the most part, he will use their full names. And I think it's so funny to me. Yeah. He's so emo all of the time.
I love,
Leo
like...
is my favorite.
No, I love when he tries to crack a joke, too. Because he still sounds serious. Like, I quote that all the time whenever we talk about this show. Like, when he's, who are you and what have you done with my brother Raphael? Like, what is that? I like, for the longest time I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. And that's not like a shot at Leo or the show. I think it's like, I don't know, it's a good quality. I think it's cool. But
I love him so much. He's so relatable. I hate to say it. I feel like a lot of people will rag on him a little bit. They're like, he's kind of just like a nothing character. Like, he's just like the responsible one, and that's like nothing. But I love Leo. I do.
Yeah, no. For me, it's definitely a case of the older that I get, the more I respect him, you know?
True. The older I got, the more I could appreciate his character, I think.
Yeah, because I've said this plenty of times before. Coming up when I was little, I've had a point where each turtle was my favorite. So like back in elementary school and everything, my favorite was Mikey. Then like maybe early middle school or so, my favorite was Raph. And then late middle school going into high school to now, it's Donnie. So especially when I was younger, I never had a point when Leo was my favorite turtle. But I feel it kind of knocking at the door a little bit. I don't think it's going to shift from Donnie fully, but I feel like I can at least give him I can give him like an honorable mention now, you know?
I always liked Leo. I always related to Leo, but I think the older I get, he means something different to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get that.
I'd say like the timeline of my favorites. I became a fan kind of later in the game, and I've had a lot of different phases too. I'd say 9 times out of 10, I'm usually flip-flopping between Leo and Donnie, but I don't know. I guess at this point, it depends on the iteration. Like, I'd say it's been pretty solidified in the last couple years, but for 03, my top 2 are always going to be Leo and Donnie. Like, I just love them so much.
Segue.
Why, hello there, old chap. Are you dying of boredom? Trying ever so hard, but can't seem to find the right way to pass the time?
Have we got the content that'll knock your bloomers off?
Your luck friends, the Geek League, are whipping up an abundance of content fit for ya.
It's the bee's knees, all right.
You'll never know boredom again. But sir and madam, what's all this about multiple channels, you may ask? Well, let us tell you.
What are you feeling for? You can catch all your favorite stuff only with the Geek League.
Dawn Room 2, we got the swashbuckling Geekly games.
The finger-snapping, toe-tapping Geekly grooves.
The autistic, flabbergasting Geekly draws. And last but not least, the channel who made it all possible. Of the Geekly channel. Huzzah!
Hot dog.
Hot dog indeed. Don't miss it. Geekly channels. Back to you. Geekly!
What do we
03.
think about Donnie?
You mentioned Donnie and Leo being your favorite. In 03, I think Raph might be my favorite turtle. And that's funny because like there's this ongoing joke about you didn't just oop me, did you?
I did. I'm sorry. I have no regrets.
Anywho. No, it's funny because I've always been like, yeah, Donnie's my favorite. Donnie's my favorite. And there are a series of videos on my YouTube channel of me doing like, oh, which turtle are you? Quizzes and stuff like that. And every time I get Raph for some reason.
Just get Raph.
Yeah. It's been an ongoing thing where people are like, oh, your favorite turtle's Raph, right? And I was like, shut up. But funny thing, I rewatched all of 03 last year. Just because I wanted to. I'm actually doing the same thing this year, but I might be making videos on it. Teaser. Anyway, upon rewatch, by the end, I think Raph was my favorite. I really do. And it's funny because I feel like his character development stopped so early in the series, but he still
That's so true.
became my favorite for some reason. I don't know.
No, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Raph is so fucking epic in the 03 series. He's one of my favorite Raphs. Him in 2012 Raph, and maybe Rise Raph at this point. Or like,
Rise Raph is great. Underrated.
Raph is so underrated. I love him so much. But anyway, 03 Raph is definitely one of my favorites. He is. I love him so much. I'll never stop thinking about the Yo Mama joke.
I was hoping you were going there.
Of course. Oh my, are you kidding?
God.
I'm never gonna forget that. I swear to, like, it plays in my brain rent free all of the time. And aside from that, Raph is just he's just, I don't know. He's like how I feel on a day-to-day basis. Like, as much as I love Leo and Donnie, they consistently end up being my favorites for the 03 series. Raph just speaks to me, you know?
Yeah.
Still not my favorite, but he does speak to me. Love him a lot.
I would say the way that Leo and Donnie are your favorites in that series, Raph and Donnie are mine.
That would make sense. Make sense.
I feel like a lot of the time, when it really came to that arc where Leo was super emo, and even if they would win like a mission, but they didn't do like every single thing they needed to do, everyone was like, guys, this is a win. And Leo was like, how could you say that? How could you say we won when X, Y, and Z? I was like, bruh. Every time Raph called him out, I was on Raph's side. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm so
I agree.
sorry.
Listen, I love Leo, but Raph was literally, he was like, bro, can you stop? Please stop. And Leo would be like, no. This Peter Parker hair out. Like, he might as well just like slap on a wig and some eyeliner because it was full on Bully Maguire mode for a while there. Yeah, like that's literally what the fuck his vibe was for a fat minute. And Raph was like, you need to stop. I have problems, but you need to stop.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay. As much as Leo gets on Raph about his temper, Raph never hurt Splinter. I'm just saying.
I mean, Raph almost like killed Mikey with a pipe, like
almost
pretty early on.
Almost. Leo struck his father.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, come on, what is that?
Physical violence.
And what makes it even worse is that it happened after Leo reprimanded Raph for doing it. So he already knows better.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I'm just saying Leo's name starts with an L for a reason. Oh, I take it back. I'm sorry.
No, so out of
it was a joke.
Oh
Leave me. I love Leo. All right, moving on. What were you saying? You were going on something about Donnie.
Anyway. Okay, well, we also need to talk about, I know we're shirking Mikey a lot. We'll get to him in a second.
No, the Battle Nexus champion. We got him. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, we'll get him. We'll get him. But we need to talk about Donnie because 03 Donnie, I think aside from like 07 Donnie, and probably them two, have consistently been my favorite Donnies like ever in the entire franchise.
Agreed.
I love 03 Donnie. Like, he is everything I need him to be all the time. And I hate when people are like, oh, but he's just like meek, shy nerd. No, he's not. He's not. Stop.
What makes him not?
Well, like, he is. Like, okay, yeah, he's kind of like a soft-spoken dude, whatever. Because let me drop some knowledge on you folks. Donnie's character is Peter Laird's self-insert character. Those of you who don't know, Peter Laird is the personality model for Donatello. At least in the Mirage comics, and certainly in the 03 series, because it's based on Mirage. So a lot of his personality traits are very similar to Peter's. But there are a lot of episodes in 03, especially, listen, I have my qualms with Back to the Sewers. I feel some type of way, but Donnie gets such...
Okay, we're going back to that. We're going back to that. No, continue, because
we'll get back to it soon.
Yeah,
we gotta cover Mikey first, and then we're gonna duke it out because I have opinions and you don't agree with them, and I know that. But anyway, but his arc in Back to the Sewer actually is really cool, and one of my favorite arcs in the entire series is Secrets or Notes from the Underground.
Yep.
He gets real heated. He's like, I need to do what I need to do. Like, he's very determined, and I don't know. I like him a lot. You know, when he needs to get shit done, he gets shit done, and he's always looking out for other people. And I think that's like why I love his character so much in 03.
No, absolutely. I feel like you hit the nail on the head there with the plot that he had going on in Back to the Sewer. I always said to me when they kind of had Leo go off the rails with his whole emo phase, I don't want to say it. Okay, portions of it to me felt kind of out of character to serve the plot. Whereas to me, I felt like the way they did it with Donnie, he still totally felt like Donnie, even though he was going through something we never saw him go through before. I feel like they did it way better with him than they did with Leo.
That's 100% true. Yeah, genuinely. Like, for kind of a mid-season, like, they did such a good job writing Donnie's character for that season, especially when he's being so, like, out of left field kind of behavioral. It does still 100% feel like who he is.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Battle Nexus champion.
I was going to say, I also love his friendship with Michelangelo. The Mikey Donnie duo in the show is so good. So good. I love the individual relationships between each brother.
Yeah.
And I think Mikey and Donnie have like some of the best sibling chemistry in the whole show.
Sorry, go ahead.
Evil twins or something. Anyway, no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was definitely going to say, like, I love 03's ability with Mikey. He's one of my favorite Mikeys because they balance the carefree, goofy, wild side of his character so well with him still being a competent fighter and like
that's so true.
A good standing asset to the team. I don't know. I feel like that was the perfect blend. And I always loved 03 Mikey for that. I hate that I have to kind of I was gonna say slander, but this is completely true. I feel like they did the reverse of what 2012 did. When 2012 started, I liked Mikey, but I wasn't a fan of the direction that they went in initially about like, oh, he's dumb. His brothers don't fully trust him. I thought it was too much in the early goings. Now I'm fine with it because seeing the show in its entirety, it goes somewhere. He grows a little bit and he eventually gets those traits of Mikey that I was missing in season 1. Like we get to see him grow into that. Whereas 2003, they had it knocked out of the park from the jump. Like it was always good. And then out of nowhere and fast forward, his character's like completely reduced to being like a lazy bum that doesn't want to do anything. Like I've never seen Splinter have to yell at him like that in any of the previous seasons. So why is it that now all of a sudden Splinter's yelling at him for being lazy? He doesn't want to train. Like what is this? I don't know. But that's my 2 cents.
Listen, I completely agree with you. My thing about, not to get on a tangent about 2012, because that's not what this episode is about.
No,
but
03.
2012 Mikey, like you said, basically is kind of like the inverse. I can see what they were trying to do, because they're trying to do the whole, like, he's like the youngest brother, so he has to prove himself. But they did that for like 3 fucking seasons straight.
Yeah.
4 seasons straight, like they were consistently, it felt like just like backpedaling on any kind of like change or like storyline that is meant to make Mikey seem more independent, to get him to be taken more seriously and to grow. And that's something that I feel like I didn't have to deal with in 2003. And it was really nice. Like Mikey, yes, he was goofy. Like his brothers picked on him a little bit, but like he had respect. He was one of the, literally, arguably the strongest fighter on the team. Aside from the whole Battle Nexus champion shit, like Splinter literally states multiple times, he's like, you are the most talented, naturally gifted fighter. You just don't put in the fucking effort. Which is something he says in Fast Forward, ironically, but it's true. Yeah. I also agree with the Fast Forward thing. I love Fast Forward. I love that season to a fault because Mikey's character is literally just thrown into the shitter. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts me inside. Like it makes me feel ill, but it's okay. Anyway, but yeah.
Nice little segue you got there. You mentioned Fast Forward.
Oh, okay. So this is a running joke we have.
Yeah.
Both on Geekly's channel and just in my day-to-day life with like other Turtles fans.
Yeah.
I love Fast Forward. And listen, most people, I know a lot of old heads don't like the season. It's something that is universally acknowledged in the fan base, except for me. I'm the exception, is that the theme song is trash. I disagree with this.
Real quick. Okay.
Real
quick. Let me throw this in here. Upon my rewatch last year, I've gone on record stating, 1, Fast Forward holds up a lot more than I remember. In fact, there were some aspects of, okay, I'll say this. Okay, you put out your opinion that might get you some heat about liking the theme song. Here's mine. I would argue that Fast Forward is way more tonally consistent with the characters than the first 5 seasons. Do with that what you will. Anyway.
Wait, like throughout the season or like in comparison to the rest of the series?
Fast Forward versus the entirety of 03. I want to make a video on it.
I don't agree with that.
No, I will make a video. I swear.
Yeah,
I will change your mind.
Another topic.
I will change your mind. No. Okay, I can't dive into it here because I feel like it's gonna spoil. I know it sounds crazy, but stay tuned on my channel. Okay. Maybe I'll change your mind. Maybe I won't. But I stand by it. The writing in Fast Forward is way more consistent with the characters, in my opinion, than the first 5 seasons. Not saying I prefer it over the first 5 seasons, but it feels more coherent. Anyway, go ahead.
I can kind of see what you're saying, but we're not gonna delve into that.
No, that's just like a stinger. It's a teaser.
A little teaser promo, whatever.
For the future.
I need to stop. Anyway, yeah, Fast Forward. Again, I understand that when the style change to some extent was like pretty jarring for a lot of people when the series was like initially airing, and also know that, again, a lot of fans who were watching the show as it was airing really, really fucking hated this season, but I love Fast Forward. I liked it the first time I watched the series. I like it every single time I rewatch the series. Like, I have so much fun watching Fast Forward. Don't love the art style change. I think it's definitely more like consistent with art styles in that time period. Like, I think a lot of shows at the time were switching up their art styles too to be more, I don't know, like for marketing purposes. There was like a movement going on basically. Like, I think of American Dragon and stuff like that. Yeah. They were doing that. And it didn't work for the Turtles, in my opinion. Like, they should have just kept the fucking art style.
That's another point.
But it was better than Back to the Sewers.
I like the art style in Fast Forward.
No, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love the art style. I hated the pupil thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I will never stand by that. They did that to try to market the show alongside 07 more. No.
Yeah, but that was a stupid ass decision. It was bad. It was so bad. I didn't like that. But the art style was cool. I did like the art style that they picked for Back to the Sewers. People didn't like it because of the art style change, and people didn't like it because it was like lighter in tone, I guess. But I really liked Fast Forward, and one of the best contributions that we get out of Fast Forward is the inclusion of Cody Jones. I love Cody Jones. I also really like the Street Phantom. Is that an unpopular
opinion?
Some people think he's like a brat.
I don't think he was a brat.
It's a very small subsect of the fan base, but there are a lot of people lately who I've interacted with who are like, he's so fucking annoying. And I'm like, why? Why? I love him. He's great. I don't know. I'm just kind of a little bitter. It's okay.
Oh, that's good.
I like Fast Forward, and I like the theme song a lot.
Here we go.
A lot.
Okay.
Listen. Okay. Here's without sparking a horribly long debate, which we already had in another interaction online. I really like Fast Forward. A lot of people abhor the theme song, but I think it's epic. In my opinion, this is where it's gonna get really controversial. In my opinion, it's just as good as What's New Scooby-Doo
Stop.
song.
Stop.
I think it's
you can't keep comparing
because
it to
I'm
that.
right.
Okay, hear me out.
No, but I'm literally right, bro.
I like the Fast Forward theme song. I do. It's an ongoing joke online that I hate it with all of my guts.
I know, it's funny.
It's not true. I just don't think it's like up there. It's cheesy as all get out.
I do.
I don't know if it's the performance or not. It might be the performance because like I've heard covers where I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is sick. And then I hear the original one. I'm like, bro, this is so corny. Like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just like,
Okay.
by comparison to the original theme song, I'm like, it feels like a huge step down to me.
Listen.
Instrumental's crazy good. The
Listen.
lyrics are fun, but the
Yes.
delivery is no.
No.
And
Oh, I love Fast Forward.
And-
I also disagree with Geekly has this hot take that Back to the Sewer is way, way better than Fast Forward.
not only
And
way better.
I disagree with that.
No, not only is it way better,
No.
but it's one of the best Turtles theme
Boo.
songs ever.
Boo!
What do you mean, boo?
Because you're wrong.
How do you have you
Fast
not
Forward
heard
is-
the
listen,
part
Fast Forward
where
is higher on the tier list? Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. You don't even have to say what it is because
Then say
I know
it.
exactly. what
say
you're
it?
talking
I
about.
dare you.
I'm not singing it.
No, don't sing it. Say it.
It's the one part where they do like the.
What?
Anyway.
No, I was
fine.
talking about. Oh my God, when it's like
Yeah.
they're going like back. Like the stuttering back, and then the dude in the background just screams by
Yes.
popular demand. That's sick.
Okay,
That's
I'm not
sick.
gonna lie. That's pretty cool. That's pretty epic. That's
That's
pretty fire.
so. Oh my God.
Got
No, you
Pharrell on that beat.
What did you say? Pharrell produced the Back to the Sewer theme song.
Pharrell produced it.
Pharrell produced
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I listen. As much as you like Back to the Sewers theme song, I don't think it's as good as Fast Forward.
Oh
I do
my-
think it's up there. I love the pop punk theme songs. I am a sucker for that shit. Bring back pop punk cartoon theme songs.
Agreed.
ASAP.
Here's what I'm gonna
But-
do. I'm gonna put
dude.
a poll on my YouTube
Oh, God.
community tab.
I'm gonna lose. You
I'll
know
keep it
that, right?
completely neutral. I'm not even gonna say who of the two of us are rooting for which one. I'm just gonna put out let's end it. Which theme song's better? Back to the Sewer, Fast Forward.
No, but like I'm gonna lose.
Guess
I'm gonna
we'll-
lose because we already know that the fan base fucking hates Fast Forward as it is. I'm losing immediately. I love that season, but I am losing.
Well, people aren't too partial on Back to the Sewer either. I got the pupils against me.
I mean, I guess that is kind of true.
Yeah. So it'll be even.
Okay. Well,
One-
we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
The results of the poll in the next episode.
I want to hit one more point. At least one more.
What's your point?
Before we wrap this up. Again,
Oh,
this is
God.
the 20-year anniversary of TMNT 2003. This show went on for so long we can't cover everything. I'm sure we'll revisit it and talk about the show
Yes.
more in the future. But we got to talk about Shredder.
Hopefully.
We got to talk about Shredder.
Oh, okay, we both agree with this.
Yes.
But it is a very controversial opinion in the Turtles fan base.
Yes. You guys
Um,
overhyped this dude.
Yeah. 03 Shredder is a little goofy.
And-
a little corny.
Yeah, I love him for that. I genuinely do.
No,
I mean, like,
no, same. Like,
Yeah.
he's very enjoyable, but he is very corny.
yeah, our problem isn't with the character in the show. It's with you guys. You guys.
Everybody makes him seem like the
Yeah.
Joker in the fucking Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, they're acting like he's something that he's not.
Yes.
Like, oh, he's way more of an in-depth character than 2012. Stop it.
I hate that.
Yeah, like
Genuinely despise.
put the bias aside real quick and watch them back to
real.
back. 2012 is an actual character. 2003 is your straight up Saturday morning cartoon villain.
No.
And if you can't love him for
What are
that,
his motivations,
stop
bro?
trying to
He's
change who
evil.
he is. What did you have to say on it?
Yeah. People, what's that? Again, like you said, people think he's like end all be all, scariest villain ever, whatever. I'm gonna say this: Shredder is cool. They lost the plot with his character after season 4.
Completely.
They completely lost the plot to his character, and at that point, I was much more interested in villains like Agent Bishop. Like,
Thank you.
they made a
Yes.
very intelligent move with making him the main villain at some point, or like
so
for
happy.
a lot of arcs after that, because he was such a good villain. Like, he's hands down one of my favorite Turtles villains in any
Yeah.
iteration is 03 Agent Bishop. It's great. I love it.
To me, Bishop and Baxter are way more compelling
Underrated.
characters than 03
Underrated.
Shredder. 03 Shredder, maybe he's cool and everything. He's definitely got that like, oh, this is that guy factor to him. If you really want to talk about
Yes.
character and you want to duke somebody out against 2012 Shredder, pick Baxter or Bishop over 03 Shredder. Like, please, I'm begging you. You know, I personally think,
No, literally.
aside from finding out 03 Shredder was an Utrom and everything, I always go back to this. You guys can fact check me if I'm wrong. Again, I rewatched the whole show last year in one go, so some things kind of blur together. I will be doing episode breakdowns, like I said, of 03 throughout this year, and I'll get my answer again if I am wrong about this. But if memory serves me right, he's been around for like 1,000 years or thousands of years. How long?
Something like he was there at the foundation of Japan. Like, he was
Yeah.
alive before as like an Utrom war criminal, and then he gets like stranded on the earth with the Utroms at literally like as Japan is starting to be like a country.
Exactly.
And then he becomes
Okay, I
like
thought it was
a
something bizarre
Tengu
like that.
demon warlord. Oh, because listen, this is what I meant by they lost the plot with his character, because first he was an Utrom war criminal alien. Then you find out that actually he's been around for like 1,000 years or some shit like that as like a demon guy who gets really big. He goes like super like I don't know. He becomes like Godzilla at some point and starts like destroying Japan with this like magical sword. It's a lot. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then that's not even to get into the whole Cyber Shredder
No.
shit show.
My whole thing is like keeping it just to Shirel. Like you said, he was there for the foundation of Japan pretty like it becoming a thing.
Literally.
Meaning he was there for the creation of several martial arts and stuff like that. Maybe learned it in its inception. Maybe he helped create some martial art forms. All this stuff. That's cool. You know, it's cool. Adding all that lore, it's like, dude, this dude's unstoppable. How are the Turtles ever going to defeat somebody like that? You mean to tell me 15-year-old Turtles versus a guy who was there for the creation of the martial art that they learned in just a few short years are able to beat him? What?
Yep.
That's our show.
It's another level of embarrassing. Like, what the fuck do you mean by that? And then, dude, Karai as Shredder was more interesting
Yes.
than actual Shredder.
Superior
Like,
Shirai. Shirai?
Me.
I just said Shirai.
Shirai?
Hey, let's make it a thing. Hashtag Shirai. Shredder, Karai,
Cool shit.
Shirai.
Hashtag Shirai. Shirai is cooler.
You know what?
Shirai rocks.
Why do I actually like that?
I think it's cool as shit, and that should be what we call her from now on.
Yeah, okay. In the future, when I make 2003 videos, please remind me to refer to her as Shirai, because if I see this across any other platform,
Shirai.
you know it started here. Shirai, yes. But anyway, yes, I agree. Shirai is the superior Shredder.
Yes, you can claim that right now.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, it sounds
It's just
like
more like her motivation to be Shredder and her beef with the Turtles is real, because like, killed my father. Like,
Yeah.
okay, vengeance, right? But like, Shredder is he's just like, I'm evil. Mwahaha. I fucking hate you because I suck. And it's like, okay,
cool.
that's real cool, bruh. I'm like, yeah, he has his moments where he's like really scary and intense, but I
Yeah,
don't know. I definitely think that 03 did a lot better in terms of like developing their other villains in
Agreed.
comparison to him.
agreed. So yeah, Sounds like we kind of dragged the show here at the end, but we're not. We love O3.
Yes.
Happy 20 years. And thanks for all the amazing content. We're going to be talking about the show even more, of course. Do you have any final thoughts to say about the show?
I feel, not to get all sappy and shit, but like this is the thing that I was like, holy fuck, I wanna do comics, I wanna do art, I wanna, this is the stuff, this is the root of my wanting to be an artist and tell stories and crap, is like the silly cartoons that I watched. This one being one of the most influential ones in my life. So
yeah.
Happy 20 years to one of the most important pieces of media in the history of my existence. And I hope people will continue to enjoy it. I also hope that Viacom will give us a fucking box set. Anyway,
complete series, please. Thank you. No, same here. Growing up on O3, I would use those action figures and tell little stories by playing with them in front of a camera and making episodes and stuff like that. And I feel like that part of me is stuck the entire time. Here I am writing my own fan-made version of Turtles at age 21. And I was doing this all the way back when I was watching the show. And I don't feel like that's ever going to go away. The Turtle Life chose me, to put it simply. Thank you, TMNT 2003. For everything, and I don't know, maybe we'll see it come back one day, maybe not. Or at least give us a box set, like Ash said. Back to the sewer theme better. Fast forward theme, Bozo. That's my spill.
No!
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Hey, you had to get the propaganda in there. But anyway, you've been great. We still didn't come up with an outro for this silly podcast.
We've...
Catch you later on the flip. A
home slice. Mean Green good to go.
We've been Cowabunga.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's it. Later.
Peace out.